right, hello everyone and welcome to the State of Connecticut Department of Revenue Services webinar regarding the Connecticut income tax on this, the 29th day of January 2025. We're so happy you've decided to spend part of your day with us here on this cold morning in the great state of Connecticut. My name is Richard Carter, and we are coming to you from our humble lodgings here at 450 Columbus Boulevard in downtown Hartford. Now, we're excited that you've decided to spend part of your morning with us, and we have 5 speakers lined up for you. First off is going to be Melissa. She's going to give a overview of what's going on with the agency. Then we're going to bring in Chris and Lizette, and they're going to get into all things Connecticut income tax. Randy is here. He's in his usual spot, and we'll talk all things MyConnect. And then Kelly's going to swoop in at the end and give a tour of the Taxpayer Education Center, and then we will round things off with a Q&A of the most frequently asked questions we've received via emails, phone calls, and through the aforementioned MyConnect. Now, before we get into any of that, there's a few things I just want to bring to your attention, and we'll start off with our website, which is located at portal.ct.gov/DRS. Now, the website has the usual suspects of forms and booklets and that sort of stuff, but it also has information publications, special notices, policy statements. There's even a research library out there. It's got taxpayer service bulletins, and there's also our newsletter, tax topics, plus much more. I would encourage you to go check it out if you want to do a deep dive into something, because we have a lot of information out there to share with you. And again, that address is located at portal.ct.gov/DRS. Now, a few other things I want to bring to your attention as well. We are out on social media. You can find us with all the usual suspects is there as well. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and Instagram. Also, I'll give you our contact information. This way, if you have any questions after the webinar, or maybe you'll have a question next week, next month, keep this information so that way you can tee it up and contact us anytime you would like. That number is 860-297-5962, and our email address is drs@ct.gov. You can also contact us by email, and you can also reach us through MyConnect as well. I'd like to bring to your attention is we do have a series of webinars coming up after today. The next one we have is, oh, there it is. Thank you. Anyway, we do have webinars coming up. We have a webinar on February 7th. That's part 2 of our pass-through entity series. We also have a webinar on February 21st. That's going to be part 3 of our pass-through entity series. That's a 4-part series. On the 26th of February, we're talking pensions and annuities. And then we're going to, the very next day, we have one on earned income tax credit. And then we have pass-through entities on March 7th. That's going to round off that particular program. And then we'll close out March with another webinar regarding the Connecticut income tax, and that is on March 20th. And as you can see, the start times for all of those is 10 o'clock in the morning, just like today. Let's now get into the show here. First up is Melissa Pescatelli. She's the tax division chief of our taxpayer services area, and Melissa is going to share some information about the agency. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Mr. Carter, and thank you so much for this warm introduction. We have such a freezing cold day today, and I thank you for that very warm introduction. Good morning, everyone. I am Melissa Pescatelli, the Taxpayer Services Division Chief. It's my pleasure to welcome you today to the Department of Revenue Services Individual Income Tax Webinar. It is designed specifically to help you prepare for filing your 2024 Connecticut income tax returns. We are pleased to bring you this event today, which will provide you with important income tax updates and electronic filing information to help you successfully file your Connecticut income tax return. We have some very knowledgeable team members with us today to provide an overview of the important income tax changes, as well as a live demonstration of how to file your Connecticut income tax return using our modernized filing and paying system. Their presentation today will explain how to prepare to file by locating all of the necessary documents that are needed to file your return. It will help you get familiar with the DRS online filing and paying platform, show you how to file your returns in MyConnect, how to avoid delays in receiving your refunds, and how to get assistance from the department's trained professionals. Now, Did you know that the fastest and easiest way to file your taxes is electronically? Here are the top 7 reasons to choose electronic filing to file your Connecticut income tax return. Number 1, it's easy. The tax software guides you through the filing process. It asks you questions to help you file a complete and accurate tax return and to claim any credits and modifications for which you qualify. It's much easier than filing a paper tax return by mail. Number 2, it's free. Through MyConnect, the department's new modernized electronic filing and paying platform, you can file your taxes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Number 3, it's convenient. You can e-file from your home computer or mobile device and receive an immediate confirmation of filing. Number 4, our online software is safe and secure. The department uses state-of-the-art technology to protect your confidential information. Number 5, by filing electronically and choosing direct deposit, you'll get your refund much faster than waiting for a paper check in the mail. Number 6, did you know that you can make an electronic payment when you file electronically? If you owe taxes, it's easy to file early and schedule an automatic payment from your bank account on any day that you choose, up to and including the filing deadline. And number 7, by using MyConnect, you can send a confidential message through your account. You can do that anytime, day or night, and you will see a response posted in your account from the department. It's really that simple. I encourage you to check out MyConnect and make the department's website a favorite on your device. This will make it easy for you to check back often for any tax updates and developments that may impact your filings. Beyond that, should you happen to have any questions or issues that arise as a result of today's presentation, do not hesitate to contact us. Our team of consumer information representatives is ready to answer any questions that you may have with any of your tax filing or payment matters. These friendly and knowledgeable employees are available to assist you Monday through Friday between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. They can help you with any questions you have, such as, how do I set up my profile in MyConnect? How do I change my address information? How can I view previously filed returns and payments that I have already submitted? How do I send a web message to DRS? And where can I find important updates on the Taxpayer Education Center? You can reach our consumer information staff at 860-297-5962. You can also email your questions anytime, day or night, to drs@ct.gov. Furthermore, if you happen to need assistance with a procedural matter or in navigating through the various bureaus within our department, you can always reach out to our new Office of Constituent Services. The Office of Constituent Services staff is able to direct you to the right area of the department that is assigned to your specific tax matter. Please check out our new Office of Constituent Services webpage for more information and to see how they can assist you. Again, thank you for attending our webinar this morning. Remember, the staff of the department stand ready to help and will always be an important resource for your success. Now, Mr. Carter, it's back over to you.
Thank you, Melissa. Job well done. Thank you for getting us started off here today. Still to come, folks, is we're going to have a presentation on MyConnect. Kelly's going to swoop in with a tour of the Taxpayer Service Center and a Q&A of the most frequently asked questions we have received via emails and phone calls and through MyConnect as well. All right, so let's bring in Chris and Lizeth, or Lizeth and Chris if you prefer. They are with us this morning to discuss and provide information regarding the Connecticut income tax. Good morning, Lizeth. I believe you are starting us off.
Hi, Mr. Carter. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to DRS. My name is Lisette, and I will giving you some useful information regarding the Connecticut income tax for the upcoming filing season. I would like to start by reading the presentation disclaimer. The information in this presentation is intended to provide general information for taxpayers and tax practitioners. It is not intended to explain in depth current department policy or practice. The information contained in this presentation is not intended to supersede, alter, or otherwise change provisions of the Connecticut General Statutes, regulations, department rulings, or tax guidance. So, what is new for the 2025 income tax filing season? The two lowest marginal income tax rates for all taxpayers are reduced. The marginal income tax rate will be decreasing from 3% to 2% on the first $10,000 earned by unmarried individuals and the first $20,000 earned by married individuals filing jointly or those classified as a surviving spouse. The rate changes from 5% to 4.5% for the next $40,000 earned by unmarried individuals and the next $80,000 earned by married individuals filing jointly or earned by a surviving spouse. These benefits will be kept for unmarried individual filers who earn $150,000 and for married individuals filing jointly or for a surviving spouse who earns $300,000. The phase-out of the pension, annuity, and IRA distribution modifications, other than Roth IRAs, is extended to taxpayers with certain adjusted gross income as follows. For single filers, married filing separately, and head of household filers, your AGI needs to be between $75,000 and $100,000. For joint filers, your AGI needs to be between $100,000 but less than $150,000. The eligibility amounts will be reduced until they are fully phased out at $100,000 or $150,000 depending upon your circumstances. So, what does this mean? It means that the income tax subtraction modification for IRA distributions other than Roth IRAs will be phased in over 4 years. In 2023, it was 25%. In 2024, it was 50%. Going forward into 2025, it will be 75% of such distribution, and for 2026 and on, it will become 100%. It is important to review the pension and annuity phase-out table when completing Form CTW4P. This will assist you in determining your eligibility of the subtraction modification. For example, if I was filing jointly for 2024 and our federal AGI was $122,000, our phase-out percentage will be 25%. Income tax withholding for retirement income distributions, such as individual retirement arrangements, life insurance contracts, or pension and annuity distributions, among others, are no longer required, except for lump sum distributions. A lump sum distribution is defined as any distribution greater than $5,000 or more than 50% of the payee's entire account balance, whichever is less. Payees can request the payer to withhold income tax withholding by completing Form CTW4P. Currently, payers that have an office in Connecticut or an employee in Connecticut and make distributions from pensions, annuities, or other income distributions are required to withhold Connecticut income tax. However, beginning January 1st, 2025, payers of pensions, annuities, or other income distributions will withhold Connecticut income tax only if the payee requested or if it is a lump sum distribution. If a payee does not request Connecticut income tax to be withheld from a lump sum distribution, the payer is required to withhold Connecticut income tax at the highest marginal rate. As previously mentioned, beginning January 1st, 2025, payers of pensions and annuities or other income distributions will withhold Connecticut income tax only if there is a payee request of it or if it is a lump sum distribution. If a payee does not request Connecticut income tax to be withheld from a lump sum distribution, the payer is required to withhold Connecticut income tax at the highest marginal rate. The withholding amount is determined by the filing status and the federal adjusted gross income. You can calculate the amount of tax to be withheld by using the Connecticut withholding calculator in MyConnect at portal.ct.gov/DRS-MyConnect. The teacher's retirement pay subtraction modification is unchanged for the 2025 income tax filing season. Retired teachers may claim either the teacher's retirement pay subtraction or the pension and annuity subtraction on the income they receive from the Connecticut Teachers Retirement Board. As the teacher's retirement pay subtraction modification is not subject to income limitations, DRS recommends reviewing both the pension and annuity subtraction and the teacher's retirement pay subtractions modification to determine which is more advantageous. Connecticut does not allow a double benefit for the same income. For example, if the federal adjusted gross income is below the pension and annuity income threshold, it may be more advantageous to take the pension and annuity subtraction modification. If the federal adjusted gross income is above the income threshold, it may be more advantageous to take the 50% teacher's retirement pay subtraction modification. Teachers must have received a 1099-R from the Connecticut Teachers Retirement Board in order to be eligible for the subtraction modification. Legislation authorizes a new credit for contributions made by taxpayer into the ABLE accounts of employees who are employed by such taxpayers. The Achieving a Better Life Experience program, also known as ABLE, intends to help people with disabilities and commenced on January 1st, 2024, and is applicable to income years or taxable years commencing on or after January 1st, 2024. ABLE is administered by the Office of the State Treasurer. For more information regarding the tax credit, amount limits, or how to claim the tax credit, visit portal.ct.gov/OTT. In the next few slides, we will discuss how to account for the updates on the Connecticut return. Use the amount entered on line 5B, pensions and annuities taxable amount, of Form 1040, Individual Income Tax Return, or Form 1040-SR, Income Tax Return for Seniors, to determine the amount of pension or annuity income to be entered on line 48B of the Form CT 1040, Connecticut Resident Income Tax Return. The subtractions are allowed providing you have properly included such income in your federal AGI for federal income tax purposes. The Social Security subtraction modification remains unchanged for the 2025 income tax filing season. Social Security benefits are fully exempt from Connecticut income tax if the filing status is single or married filing separately and the adjusted gross income is less than $75,000, or married filing jointly, qualifying surviving spouse or head of household, and the adjusted gross income is less than $100,000. Your Social Security benefits could be partially exempt from the Connecticut income tax if your federal AGI is above the threshold of your filing status. This slide provides a brief example of the Social Security benefit worksheet for those who file by paper. Keep in mind, most tax software will automatically calculate the adjusted amounts. Visit portal.ct.gov/DRS-MyConnect to use the online Social Security benefit calculator in order to figure out your Social Security benefit adjustment to be reported on Form CT 1040 Schedule 1. If you decide to use a worksheet other than from a federal publication, verify that the line preferences from that source are the same as those in the federal publication. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Chris Kimura.
Thanks, Lizette. Lots of valuable information there. Hi, my name's Chris Chimura, and I'm a revenue examiner in the Education and Outreach Unit. First, I'm going to talk about the Connecticut Earned Income Tax Credit. This is unchanged for the 2025 filing season. The tax credit is 40% of the federal credit. Now, earned income includes all taxable income and wages received from working for someone else, yourself, or a business or farm you may own. Types of earned income include wages, salaries, or tips where federal income taxes are withheld on Form W-2 Box 1. Income from a job where your employer did not withhold tax. Certain disability benefits received before the minimum retirement age was reached. Non-taxable combat pay. And money from all self-employment, including owning or operating a business or farm, ministry or religious order income, statutory employee income, or union strike income. Okay. Now let's talk about the property tax credit. There are no changes to the property tax credit for the 2025 filing season. Now remember, this can only be claimed on the CT 1040 resident income tax form. This is taken against 2024 Connecticut income tax liability. Now, qualifying property tax payments include your primary residence or privately owned or leased motor vehicle. Now remember, payments must have been paid and due in 2024, though prepaid 2025 tax payments do qualify. But late fees or interest charges cannot be claimed, and prior year's tax liability paid in 2024 also don't qualify. Now, the maximum credit is $300, and this is a non-refundable credit. Now, there's a property tax calculator in MyConnect, and you can see it on the right of the screen. And now remember that you must complete line 60 through 63 of Schedule 3, which is the property tax credit, or the credit will be disallowed. So if you want the credit, don't forget to fill out Schedule 3. Now let's talk about 1099-Gs and 1099 NECs. Now, any taxpayers that have taken an itemized deduction on the federal level and received a refund on the state level will receive a letter regarding the 1099-G. Now, not every filer will receive a 1099-G postcard. So, such taxpayers who took the standard deduction on their 2023 federal return and therefore did not itemize. So with the removal of the state and local, sometimes some people call them SALT deduction cap, many taxpayers are no longer itemizing their federal return and claiming the deduction. The 1099-G form reports the amount of overpayment refunded to you in 2024 or that was credited towards a future tax period, or that was offset to pay another state or federal tax liability or an other state obligation on your behalf. Now, taxpayers need to present the 1099-G to their preparer for guidance on the treatment for income reporting purposes. Now, 1099-Gs can be located in MyConnect, and you can find this under the Individuals tab, and it will be under What is my 1099-G amount? 1099 NECs have been provided to those who received Heroes Pay during the 2023 taxable year. These payments are taxable federally, so there is no subtraction modification for these payments under Connecticut income tax. So for more information regarding the Heroes Pay, please call 860-702-3300. And this is the Office of the State Comptroller. Now we're going to talk about being prepared. The federal return must be completed before the Connecticut return because the Connecticut return starts with the federal AGI. So if you're a tax preparer, ask your clients to gather all the documents prior to their appointment that are needed to prepare a return. This includes W-2s, 1099s, CTK1s, and property tax payment receipts. Now, please note that these filings may be delayed if there's been a change to their name, address, bank account, or method to receive a past refund. Taxpayers can check their refund status on MyConnect, which leads us to our next topic. Now, filing electronically with MyConnect is more accurate with less errors. The system does the calculations, and it also ensures that all required information is included before the return is submitted. So with MyConnect, you can register a new business. You can file returns and make payments. You can upload W-2s or 1099s. You can request a status letter. A great feature in here is that you can send a secure message any time of the day. Also, another good feature is that you can check your refund status. You don't have to call and wait on the phone for somebody. You can check right here on MyConnect. And it gives you an immediate confirmation that your return has been submitted. So it gives you a little peace of mind. Now, DRS takes very seriously its obligation to protect the highly confidential taxpayer information and implements the highest of security protocols to ensure tax data is safe and secure. So MyConnect employs a two-step verification action as part of its login process. But this is optional, so if you don't like it, like I don't, you don't have to use it. Another great feature is MyConnect is always open. It's free and it's available 24 hours a day. And another big thing is remember that DRS will never reach out via text or social media. So if you get something like this, you should just ignore these messages. Now the screen here shows you how to get into MyConnect. From the DRS homepage on the left, you see the link under Most Popular. You simply click on the link. Then on which you can see on the right is the login screen. So if you know your login and password, you simply log in. Now, if you forgot your password or login, you could hit the lost password and an email will be sent to the email that is on file. And if you need to create a username, you hit the link and you simply follow the instructions and you'll be logged on to MyConnect in no time. Now, there are many resources available under the individual panel after you have logged into MyConnect. Again, from here, you can make a payment or an estimated payment. You can file returns. You can file an extension. This is where you will be able to check, where's my refund? You can also check if you need to know your 1099-G amount. For people that are filing the earned income tax credit, you can upload your documents, and this is a lot faster than mailing them. And if you need to file a protest, this is where you could file a protest. You could also upload individual use or custom documents. And this is where you would find the tax calculators, which include the income tax calculator, the property tax calculator, a Social Security benefit calculator, and more. Now let's talk about some of the ways to avoid refunds. If you have a name change, what we recommend, you go into MyConnect, log into MyConnect at least 24 hours before you file and change your name. And if you have an address change, again, we recommend going in and updating it 24 hours in MyConnect before you file. And also, don't forget to notify your benefit plan administrator. Before filing, make one last check to see that all required schedules are included. And if you have dependents, please include Schedule CT dependent. Now, double or triple check that you entered all your required information from your W-2s and or 1099s correctly, because if there's a mistake there, that could cause a delay. And also, here's a big thing. First-time filers will receive the refund in a paper check form. So you're always going to get a refund check the first time you file. Now, DRS is committed to protecting taxpayers from identity theft and fraud. A refund protection or refund verification letter may be sent to the taxpayer. Just remember, don't lose this. You're going to need it. The notice asks taxpayers to visit the DRS website. From there, you would click the Verify Identity link, and you can see this on the left part of the slide. Note that you must have the refund protection notice in hand before taking the refund protection quiz. Now, if you lost this notice that was sent to you, DRS cannot resend it, nor can DRS agents provide the needed information from the notice. All right, now we're going to just talk a little bit about when to file. Now, the due date for the Connecticut return and paying taxes is April 15th, 2025. So if you're filing by paper, it must be postmarked by April 15th, 2025. And if you're filing electronically, It must be received by midnight, April 15th, 2025. Okay, but what if we need more time to file a return? This you should submit a form CT 1040 EXT, which is the application for extension of time to file Connecticut income tax return for individuals. Now remember, a request for an extension of time to file is only a request for additional time to file. So if you anticipate owing tax, make a payment using the form CT 1040 EXT on or before April 15th, 2025. Now, to request an extension of time to pay, submit form CT 1127, application for extension of time for payment of income tax. But remember, interest and penalty charges will be incurred for any late payments. And now I would like to hand the ball back to Mr. Carter.
All right. Thank you, Lizette. And thank you, Chris, for that information. Very enlightening. Glad Chris was able to join us today. His Montreal Canadiens dropped one last night, 4-1. Tough season for the Habs. So we're glad he was with us today. All right. So still to come, folks, we have Kelly McLaughlin. Kelly's here to provide a tour of the Taxpayer Education Center and the Q&A of the most frequently asked questions we've received. But first, let's call up Randy Hiraprasad. Randy is a principal examiner electronic filing unit, and there he is. Okay, there he is. And he is here to provide some information regarding MyConnect. Look at that smile. There he is. He's happy to be here. Good to see you, Randy. Good morning.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Carter. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to this webinar. And today you'll heard all about CT 1040 NRPY income tax filing and the different schedules. Now I will show you what it looks like in MyConnect, how easy it is to get into MyConnect to file and pay your income tax. All right, so there's a few ways to get to MyConnect. As you can see on my screen, you can just type in CTDRS in Google, and it will pull up the Connecticut State Department of Revenue Services. Once you click onto that, that will bring you to the Connecticut Revenue Services homepage. Under the most popular, there's a link there that says MyConnect, file, pay, and register taxes online. Once you click onto that, that will bring you over to MyConnect. As you can see on my screen here, this is what MyConnect looks like. So before we get into the create a username and password and forget username and password, we do have some panels on MyConnect where you do not need to log in. You can get things done by just go to the panels and click on the hyperlinks. So because we're in the individual income tax season now, and all the filings are happening and the refunds and 1099-G, we do have a panel, dedicated panel here for you to make payments, make estimated payments. You can file your extensions. However, you're not going to be able to file the return. There are other returns that you can file, but not the 1040 or the NRPY. You need to log into with a username and password to file those. Like, where's my refund? That's a popular one. What's my 1099-G amount? Or if you have any documents to send, you receive correspondence from the department, for example, like or an income tax credit document, you can just click on the hyperlink, attach those documents, and submit it through MyConnect. We also have, you heard about the view calculators. If I click into this view calculators, we do have the income tax calculator for assistance. We have the property tax calculator, social security calculator, and the wage calculator. Those are all you can just, work with the calculator before you get your start. It will give you a clear understanding, how much refund you're getting back or if there's any tax due. So now I'm going to go back over here. We do have on this panel some additional resources. Check them out when you have some time. They're really good resources. We have that individual income tax information page. We also have some 1099s filing and some important tutorials, how to create a username, how to file certain tax returns, make payments and extensions. This is for business, but if you do need a CT registration number and you have a business and you'd like to get a CT Connecticut registration and like to open up a business with Connecticut Revenue Services, this is the link where it says new business need a CT registration number. All right, I'm gonna scroll back up to my page here, and Before I get into create a username, let's say if you created a username last year, you're filing income tax, you only come in here once a year. Now you come back this year, you forget your username and password. We make it so much easy for you that you can simply click on the forget username and password. Once you click into the forget username and password, if you forget your username, you will enter your email address. The system will send you an email in your inbox and provide your username. And we'll do the same thing for the password. We'll send a hyperlink and then to reset your password. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on create a username. Here's some information on create a username. You will see how easy it is to create your username. So now all I need to do is just select individual user, which is to select your access type. I'm going to go ahead and enter either your ITIN or your SSN. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my SSN. Okay, I got that going there. Enter my last name. And then everything looks good. This is the first validation. If I click next, I was able to pass the first validation, which is good. Now I select individual income tax, and now I have to enter my adjusted gross income reported on line 1 of Form 1040 or the 1040 NRPY. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that dollar amount. If everything looks good, I'm able to create a username. So all I need to do is create a username, enter my email address, enter the name, everything looks good. Take note of the password requirements on the right. Create my password, confirm my password. And here's a security question. Enter that information there. And then I'm going to go ahead and click next. If everything looks good, I'm going to click next. So this is a message just telling me that I already used the email address in the system. So you just need to confirm, because that's if you have more than one web login with the same email address. Here's a nice profile summary for you. So now I'm going to click submit and click OK. And now we are ready to log in. So let's see the beauty of My Connect. So now I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm just going to enter my username that I created. And then I'm going to enter my password. And I'm going to click login. Once you first log in into My Connect, you will be able to see this page that you're looking at. This is the two-step verification. It's just an extra layer of security. You don't really have to set it up. But a lot of people these days, set it up for the extra layer of security. So you can add your phone number with text messages. You can do your email address, or you can, download that authentication app on your phone. Any of these three will work for extra layer of security. But if you don't want it to do it, there's a disable button here. But don't worry, you can always come back later once you log in and reactivate it again and set it up. And that can be done when you log into My Connect. That can be done. Manage my profile. If you click on the profile, here's you can make any updates to your name, email address, phone numbers, or any security questions, email, change your password, or the two-step verification. I'm going to return back to my summary screen. So welcome to My Connect. This is it tells you welcome Randy Test. Left side of the page, you have my name, first, last name, partial, my social, and my address. So I know I'm in my account now and everything looks good. Before we drill into the return, to show you quickly how the return looks like and file a return of the 1040 return, I do wanted to point out some additional features that we do have. For example, we have the Action Center. The Action Center is really, really good. It's really useful. It gives you that update if there's a return that's due in 5 days or overdue in 15 days. All of that will be in the Action Center. If the department sends you an email or a letter or any messages or anything, that will also show in the Action Center. And you can just drill into the Action Center and just click on the hyperlink and view any of those. So check it out when you have some time. We also have the More tab. The More tab in My Connect, you can search prior submissions, you can manage payments and returns, taxpayer updates, you can manage names and addresses. So let's say if you move, you change your address, this can be done instantly and you will see that update right away for you. Back in the days we used to mail them in and then sit there and wait, make sure the address is updated. Now everything is here for you. You just go into My Connect, make your name and name changes and your address, and you will see them instantly in My Connect. Let's say if you want to close or reopen your accounts, also we have the correspondence panel here. You can view letters. You can send a message securely to DRS. If you don't want it to, make a phone call to DRS and wait a little bit for speak with an agent, just send us a message, and the message is done securely by clicking send a message. You can also send an attachment with your message. If you would like to get a good status letter, you can do so as well. Click on request a good status letter. The system will let you know if you're in good status or not. We also have, like, again, where's my refund? What's my 1099-G? If you have a missing or stolen refund, penalty waiver, and there's a lot more to offer in My Connect. So please check it out. You'll love all the different options that we do have to make your filing easy and smooth and make payment. All right, so now we're going to return back to the summaries page, and then we'll look at some of the hyperlinks here. So let's say if you file your return and you're not able to, let's say you owe money and you're not able to make the payment, we do have a request payment plan hyperlink here. So you can request a payment plan with the department. You can make a payment. You can make an estimated payment. Or if you like to go back 2-3 years and amend the return, you can click on that view file returns and view period detail, and you will be able to see, and we can talk a little bit more about the amended later on in the presentation. You can file an extension. Let's say if you're not ready to file, you would like to file an extension, you can do so by clicking on the extension link. So let's go ahead now and click on File Now. And this will bring me into the individual income tax instructions. And as you can see here, there's some instructions to read up on. And the cool thing about My Connect is, let's say if you're filing the return and you're in the return and data that you don't have in front of you, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this tomorrow or something like that. Don't worry, you're not losing all that data. There's a save draft feature. If you click on the save draft feature, this is gonna save your return for 30 business days in the system. At the end of 30 business days, you will get an email saying, hey, Randy, you have a save draft. If you would like to continue, log back in and go in, or just leave it as is, and then what's going to happen is the system is going to automatically wipe it out for you. Okay, for now, we're just going to say continue editing instead of finishing later. And now I am back into my instruction screen, and now I click next, and in the filing information, I'll select I'm a single filer. And as you can see, some data already pre-pop in the fields for me, so it saves a lot of time. I don't have to enter those because we know who you are. Now I'm going to go ahead and click next, and now it brings me to choose my form type. I'm going to go ahead and select form 1040. I'll make that screen a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Now I click on 1040, and over here you can select any of these form types. So let's say if you're sending in the schedule, CT dependent schedule, you can check this box, and later in the filing you will get an option to attach that document to send to the department. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click next. Here's a question. This is new for this year. Access Health CT. If you're interested in learning more about Access Health CT, we can say yes or no. So I'm going to say no to this for now. Click next. And now it's going to bring me to enter my adjusted gross income. Everything looks good. It says, do you have any Schedule 1 or additions, or Schedule 1 subtraction or additions? I'm going to say no to those. And the nice thing about filing your 1040 return on My Connect, we do offer some brief explanation. What are these schedules for on the right side of each page? And then if you need more detailed information, we do have that return instruction booklet. So if you click on that hyperlink, that will bring you to the Connecticut Revenue Services webpage with more information. All right, so now I'm in the Schedule 3 primary residence. I will go ahead and fill this one out. So let's say if I paid $5,000 for my resident, I'm going to put in the town here. I'm going to say it's a house, and I'm going to have to choose the date. So the date that you made the payment will have to be in that filing period date. If you choose anything else, you will get an error message in My Connect. All right, so I paid that in January and I paid that in June. As you know, we pay taxes for a property. All right, so as you can see, the credit that I'm getting back is $300, which is good. I'm happy for that. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next. And on each page, it will tell you on the top here, it will say if you have a balance due or if you have a refund coming, it will be in green. But if there's a balance due, you will see it in red. I don't have any Schedule 2, so I'll simply click Next. No CT 6251, Next. None of these, Next. So we do have individual use tax, so I bought some items from the internet, but I didn't pay any taxes, so now I need to report my tax. So now I'm going to say individual use tax. Yes, I do have something to report. I click Next, and now it brings me to that schedule, and that's where I'm going to enter on the line 69B, which is $450 for the tax of 6.35 purchase. All right, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Now I'm on the withholding schedule. So here is where you will enter your W-2s or 1099s. In the drop-down, you will select your W-2, then enter your federal number from your W-2 that you collect from your employer. And then here is where you're going to enter the wages. So for Connecticut wages, we'll do the 48,000. Federal income tax is 1,500 and 1,000 for income tax withheld. And if you do have any more W-2s and enter, you will keep entering it here. Some people do have more than 5. So when you meet to the last line here, you're going to get another line that pop up that says supplemental W-2 withholding reporting. And that's going to, then you can enter as many as you want in the system. All right, everything looks good. I'm going to click Next. I don't have any EITC. It would be nice if I have some. I can get back some credit, some money. But on this filing, I don't have any. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Pass-through entity, nothing there. Interest underpayment, nothing on that schedule. And now I'm on any prior payments made. So if you paid in on any payment with your extension, it would be on line 20. If you paid in any earned income for estimated tax, will also be on here for you. But I did not pay any, so I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And this is the screen I was telling you about. If you have any attachment to send to the department, you will click Add Attachment, and then you will attach your document to send with your return. So whoever is processing your return in our backend system here, they will see the attachment on the return. All right, here's a nice summary for you. In income information, and this panel here, you'll see all the information that I just enter. And the cool part about MyConnect, it does a lot of calculation for you. So you just plug in the main figures and the main line items, and then the system will do all the calculation for you. That's what I like about MyConnect application. All right, so if I scroll down, you will see that there's a refund section. There's no refund. There's a tax information here. If line 21 is telling me my total payments and credits. And then if I scroll down to the last one here, it will tell you amount you owe, which is $869. And then if I click Next, it will bring me to my payment method. And here you have the option to pay after the filing. So let's say if you wanted to do a payment plan, you will choose this option to pay after the filing, or if you're sending in a check, if you don't feel comfortable to make your payment online. But it's very secure, and you know that you're at ease when you will get a confirmation in your email inbox, say that you submitted your payment, and it will come out the day that you schedule the payment to come out. So for this example, we're going to do pay with using bank account or credit card. Click Next, and it brings me to my payment options. And I do have the bank account or the credit card. And I'm going to go ahead and select bank account. You can make your payment by credit card. However, there's a fee involved with it. And it will do all the calculation. It will show you the fee before you go to our third-party credit card company, which is the ACI company. And let's say if you don't want to do that, we come back and you can choose bank account. So you do have options of making your payments online. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And now, as you can see, one of the fields are pre-filled for me with the $869. I just need to confirm the dollar amount. And I can schedule this payment up to April 15. After April 15, the system will not allow me to do any scheduling of making the direct payment. But I can, within that time frame from now and April 15, I can choose any of these dates in there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select direct payment, enter my routing number. Once I enter my routing number, I know it's Northwest Bank. I was like, yes, that's my bank. Everything looks good. Because if I put in a different routing number and it's a different bank, then I know it's not my bank and the money will not come out. Then I'm going to go ahead and enter my account number. I'll need to confirm my account number. And then I need to say if it's checking or savings. And let's say if you're going in the system to make estimated payment within the year, you can save the bank account for future use. You don't have to do all of this step. You can just go save the account and just click on the default and just go, proceed with it. But if you wanted to use a different bank account within the year to make estimated payment or bill payment or anything like that, you don't have to save it in the system. Go ahead and click next. And now on my terms and condition, and as you can see, the line says here, the amount of the direct payment will be $869 and will be initiated on January 29, 2025. Declaration of signature. All I need to do is just simply enter my name as my signature, electronic signature, and click submit. I click submit, and there's my confirmation number. And you will also get a confirmation in your email inbox that you file your return. And it's that easy to file your income tax return on MyConnect. If you wanted a printable copy, some people like a printable copy for their records, you will click on the printable copy. This will open up a PDF for you. And the upper here will tell you your payment information, some demographic information. And under below here, you will see all the different line items, the different schedules that we entered on the return. And you can print a copy from your printer if you do have one. So let's say if you walk away by mistake or close it by mistake and you're like, I missed this, I'll show you how to get another printable copy. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now, if I click on my More tab, I come back under my Start Submissions. Remember the Start Submission panel. If I click on Start Submission, you will see it says pending and my 1040 is here pending. So if I drill into this, I do have the option of the print hyperlink. If I click on that print hyperlink again, it will open up the PDF for me. So once that return process in our backend system, it will be under processed, and you can do the same thing, but that hyperlink with a print copy will always be there for you to get a copy. So I'm going to go ahead and return back over to my summary screen, and I will just show you where to do the amended. We're not going to go through with the amended, but I will show you how to, if you want to like to amend the return. So once I click on the view hyperlink, view amend return hyperlink, I'm in the return screen now, and as you can see here, all the different periods are listed for me, and then I can choose one of these periods. So for example, if I wanted to amend the 2022, I will click on view or amend return. Once I click into that, this will bring me into the screen where I need to click amend. Once I click amend, I click next, and then I start entering the figures in the amend return. And continue with the filing and get a confirmation number. How you know that you're in the amend return? There's going to be on each pages, there's going to be a big banner here that says this is an amended return. Enter the amounts that you should have been reported on this return to correct the original return. All right, so I'm going to return back over to my summary screen. Today I showed you how easy it is to get to MyConnect by going to portal.ct.gov/DRS or Google and get to MyConnect. There's a lot of tasks you can do on MyConnect by not logging in, make a payment, make extension payments, estimated payments, bill payments. And then if you want to file the return or, get more of the different items that we do have to offer, features, you can log in with your username, how to create a username, if you forget your username and password, and get into MyConnect, and how easy it is to file a return or to amend your 1040 or NRPY return on MyConnect and to make a payment securely. Thank you all for listening, and back to you, Mr. Carter.
All right. Excellent job again, Randy. Well done. Very good. A lot of information out there for you folks. And happy birthday once again. Let's see, where are we going now? Oh, yes, Kelly McLaughlin. Kelly is here. Kelly is going to provide a very brief tour of our Taxpayer Education Center. There she is. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Mr. Carter, and thank you. Right. Today I'm going to give you a brief tour of the DRS Taxpayer Education Center. The Taxpayer Education Center can be found halfway down the DRS homepage at portal.ct.gov/DRS. The Taxpayer Education Center was created through the lens of a Connecticut taxpayer. The TPEDC provides informational videos and other educational resources like registration for any upcoming webinars and new business flyers. We also have additional videos on providing helpful tips on certain subjects. Then we have a video series for navigating our website. After navigating our website, we have 2 additional series, one for Connecticut residents filing and paying income tax, and the second is for Connecticut non-resident and part-year residents filing and paying the Connecticut income tax. Finally, at the very bottom, you will find any previously recorded webinars, and including in about a week's time, the recording of this webinar will be posted for you to review. Videos will be added and updated often to reflect the most asked questions from taxpayers. The videos provide a quick and easy walkthrough of the topic presented. Thank you, and now back to Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Kelly. You're not off the hook yet. One follow-up question for you. On those videos, what's the general running time?
The general running time is anywhere between 2 to 6 minutes. There are a few that are a little bit longer.
All right, good to know. Circle gets the square. Thank you very much. We'll see you at the next one. Okay, so now it's time for the Q&A, which we've been promoting this entire session. And for that, let's bring back in Chris and Lizeth. Let's call them up on the big board. There we go. I see Chris. Very good. Welcome back. And Lizeth is out there somewhere. And I believe she's starting us off. There she is. All right, now I feel better about things. Woo, I was getting worried there for a second. Okay. Lizeth, are you taking question number 1?
Right.
Okay, I have it right here. Right here. All right, question number 1. How many past years of individual tax returns can a taxpayer access in MyConnect?
A taxpayer will have access to the current year plus the 2 prior years.
All right, very good. All right, Chris, you're up. Don't be nervous. Question number 2.
Well,
What if my pension administrator is not located in Connecticut, nor does business in Connecticut, and will not withhold Connecticut income tax from my distributions despite my request to do so? That's a good question. I like that.
okay. Well, you can make estimated tax payments in anticipation of owing income tax through MyConnect. From the homepage, you go into the individuals panel, and from there you would see make a payment or estimated payment, and you click on that link.
All right, very good. Thank you. Question number 3, Lizeth, how do I cease my pension provider from withholding Connecticut income tax from my distributions?
Complete Form CTW4P and enter code E on line 4. Give this form to your pension administrator. Do not send it to DRS.
All right, I like that. Very easy. Thank you very much. All right, Chris, you're up. Question number 4. How do I determine the amount of my Social Security benefits that are excluded from the calculation of Connecticut income tax?
Okay, so if you used the worksheets and the instructions to Federal Forms 1040 and 1040 SR to calculate the amount of taxable Social Security benefits, then you would complete the Social Security benefit adjustment worksheet, which is on page 24 of the CT 1040 instructions, and then you would enter the amount from line F onto line 41.
All right, excellent. Okay, we're coming down the home stretch, guys. We got 2 questions left, and that brings us to question number 5. Lizeth, and the topic you have chosen is, I filed my Connecticut income tax return, but forgot to take the property tax credit on the return. How can I correct my previously submitted information?
You can make corrections by amending the return using MyConnect to claim the credit. To do this, log in into MyConnect, locate the account panel, click the View Returns, View Period Details link, and then click Amend. The return will open with all previous entered data. make the needed corrections, and submit.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Last question, Chris. Question number 6. I filed my Connecticut income tax return and forgot to enter the estimated payments or payments applied from last year. Should I file an amended return?
Okay, I think the last question is the easiest one. So there's no need to amend the return because DRS will calculate the payments received on account for the tax year and will adjust the return to reflect the proper credit due. So you don't have to do anything. So easy peasy.
You are right about that, sir. Thank you very much. And that concludes today's webinar and the Q&A. So thank you both to Chris and Lizeth. If you guys out there have any questions in the future, we can be contacted at 860-297-5962. You can also send us an email. Don't be shy. You can zap us. Our email address is drs@ct.gov. Our website, once again, is portal.ct.gov/DRS. We're also out there on social media on all the usual suspects. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Our business hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And yes, I want to get a plug in for our webinars that are coming up. There we go. So we've got a webinar coming up on February 7th at 10 a.m. That's part 2 of our pass-through entity series. And that's followed up with part 3 on February 21st. February 26th is going to bring us a webinar regarding pensions and annuities. And the very next day, we're back at it with a webinar regarding the earned income tax credit. And then we conclude the pass-through entity series with part 4 on March 7th. And then we have another Connecticut income tax webinar, just in case you missed this one, or if you don't go out and check out this one out on our webpage, there is one on March 20th as well. All the start times on those are 10 a.m. And to register for those, we used to have a yellow banner out there, but due to the amount of webinars we're having in the coming weeks, what we've done is we've given you 2 paths where you can go out there and register. The first one is right there on the homepage. All you need to do is click on the 2025 tax events calendar. And once you do that, it'll pop it up and you'll see all the events that we have out there. And when you go to the specific date, you would click on it and it would bring you to the registration. The second is by just merely clicking on the Taxpayer Education Center. And once you've done that, that'll bring you to the next page. And from there, you're just going to click on live webinar registration. And that's it. Simple. In and out. No one gets hurt. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and spending part of your morning with us. I'd also like to thank those behind the scenes, Suzanne and Kelly, for pushing all the buttons and knobs. And our apologies today to William, Bill, Dithers, who we just didn't have enough time to get you in the webinar. We'll get you at the next one. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we hope to see you at the next webinar. So long.